Hi everyone, Travis from Tale of Two Halves. Today, I'd like to discuss the battery life that I've been getting on the new Garmin Vivoactive HR, along with some of the early issues that myself and others have been noticing. To begin with the battery life, I fully charged my Garmin Vivoactive HR on Sunday morning before I began my 20-mile run. It is now a little after 8 p.m. on Friday evening, so we're at about 5.5, almost 6 full days, and I'm currently sitting on 20% of battery. During this battery cycle, I had 5 different running activities on the watch that totaled a little more than 6 hours of use. Of these 6 hours, a little under half were spent using the GPS. The other runs were done on the treadmill in the middle of the night. My 20-mile run took 2.5 hours to complete, and that used approximately 15% of my fresh battery. Now, Garmin's advertised 13 hours of battery life while using the GPS. That's going to equal a battery usage of about 7.5 to 7.7% an hour. During my first few weeks with the Garmin Vivoactive HR, I've been using between 6 and 7% an hour, so actually slightly better than the advertised numbers from Garmin. Garmin has stated that you can get up to about 8 days of battery life while in the smartwatch mode with 24/7 heart rate monitoring turned on. While I'm not going to get to 8 days, I think that 6 days with some type of activity every day is fairly good, and overall I'm satisfied with that time frame. Now, some of the ways to improve the battery life, of course, would be to turn off the 24/7 heart rate monitoring. However, I'll be honest, I think that's pointless if you want this watch. That's the whole point of getting this watch. Another way you could improve the battery life is to decrease the amount of display time and the brightness level of the backlight feature. And lastly, you can also turn off the Bluetooth connectivity when you're not using it, or leave Bluetooth turned on so you can sync it to your phone and just turn off the smart notifications. All these options will help you increase the battery life of your Garmin Vivoactive HR. Now I'd like to talk about some of the issues that I've noticed with the watch. The biggest issue that I've been having with the watch is with the Bluetooth connectivity. I've been having a very hard time getting the watch to connect to my phone. Typically, the process involves me holding the menu button, going to settings, going to Bluetooth, and turning the Bluetooth off. I also have to turn the Bluetooth off on my phone, and then I have to restart both devices, the watch and my phone. And then after they've both restarted, I turn the Bluetooth on my phone first, and then I come back into here and I select on for the Bluetooth. Typically that has been solving the problem, however it has taken multiple attempts a few times. Now, personally, I find that this is cumbersome and a pain, and I've noticed that many others are having the same problem and are currently voicing their concerns on the Garmin forums. I did have a similar issue last year with the original Vivoactive when it was released, and it was eventually solved with a software update. Hopefully Garmin listens to the consumers and solves this problem as soon as possible. Another issue for many has been the dim screen inside as well as the backlight. I will start by saying that the watch is designed to be used outside, in daylight. With that said, I personally do not have a problem reading the screen inside during the day at all. At night, I feel it is still very easy to read with the use of the backlight. The backlight comes standard with 5 brightness settings and 4 timeout settings. With these options, I'm sure you can find a combination that works well for you. I currently have my watch set to time out in 10 seconds, and I have my brightness level on level 3. Another issue that many seem to be complaining about is the calorie burn throughout the day. Now, I'll be honest, the only time I like to see my calorie burn is during a workout. And with the complex algorithms that Garmin uses to compute your calorie burn, that's based on your gender, your age, your height, your weight, and your heart rate, the calorie burn for a workout, such as a run for me, is fairly accurate. As for the all-day calculations, I will try to get better numbers and follow up with you guys. As for today, at a little after 8 p.m. at night, it shows that I've burned about a little over 1,800 calories for the day, which I think is very close to my metabolic burn rate. The final issue that I'd like to point out during this video is a comparison sample during my first week while I was still wearing the original Vivoactive as well as the new Vivoactive HR. I had a little hiccup with the GPS on the new Vivoactive HR. I will put both of those images on screen and I will show you the differences between the two watches. As you can see from the two images here, the upper image is the original Garmin Vivoactive and the lower is the new Garmin Vivoactive HR. If you look at the lower image, you will see that towards the right of the red lines, they're not as crisp and clean as they are on the original Garmin Vivoactive. This was one of my first runs with this watch, and I can tell you that this has not occurred since. I've run very consistent routes that I've been running for years, and I know the exact distances, and the new Vivoactive HR has been working very well since. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for the support on my first 3 videos. And if you have specific questions regarding the Garmin Vivoactive HR, please leave a comment here or send me a tweet, and I'll be sure to answer them as soon as possible. I'll see you on my next video.